Alright, well, I thought I would take a break from my normal model stuff and do a tool restoration. I got this at a thrift shop probably several years ago, and knowing me, I probably paid way less than 10 bucks for it. And it is an Arbor press. I don't know if you can read that very well here or not, but it says No.1 Green Nerd Armor Arbor Press, or Greenerd. Greenerd? I don't know how you pronounce it. It's almost like Green Nerd. But anyways, the paint, is flaking off. The thing is just rusty. It's just been sitting in a corner shop for, well, since I bought it. And I haven't really used it. I mean, it does work. It's not like seized up or anything. That does start, moving down. It does work. But this piece that's on here is a very specific piece, along with a little tool post that's here and loose. So this was had a very specific setup that I'm not familiar with. If you know what that was for, what this thing here is for, feel free and leave it in a comment. Let me know what you think it was for. But what I want to do is I want to strip it apart, clean it all up, get a fresh coat of paint on it, get rid of this block, or well, put it to the side just in case I do need it later, and maybe even make a few new heads here for doing different pressing stuff. So yeah, I'll just get started taking apart anything that looks like it's holding anything together. I mean, these, for all the rust that's on here, I'm surprised I could actually just take that out. That one is a different story. That one's seized in there. So let me get a few tools together and let me start taking this thing apart, and we'll take a look at all the pieces and get it cleaned up. Alright, so just go ahead and keep taking this thing apart. That one, you can tell it's loose, but I think it's just a little bit rusted in there, but it is turning. There we go. And again, not really sure what that block was used for. I think that's something somebody made. I mean, it kind of looks like it could have been homemade. Maybe, hard to say. Again, looks like another set screw in here. Not a set screw, but an Allen screw in there, maybe. If you know what that's for, please let me know. And we'll go and pop this guy down here off. That was loose. Like I said, I can't believe how well. I shouldn't have said anything, because that should, don't worry, it's a cheap crappy screwdriver. I don't care if I damage it. Let's go ahead and pop this screw out here. It's like all the screws are coming out. See a little gear in there. Of course, I'll put a fresh coat of grease and everything. And let's see, what size is that one going to be? It's that screw right here. Man, that one's tight. So yeah, I shouldn't have said anything. Turned. There we go. Is that going to turn the whole handle? Yep, look at that. It's turning the whole handle here. So I got to get something to clamp down on that handle there. Give me a second. All right, if you're ever needing to clamp down on something round, these kind of vice grips here, these are like the best. That particular shape there, this is like the best thing for grabbing round stuff. I've never had any issues with this slipping on something round. So of course I say that and it won't work on this one. Yeah, that screw is in there. a little bit tight. How exciting is this for you guys, watching me take a bolt out? I guess I could fast forward this. That would be the nice thing of me to do, right? Fast forward to this. There we go. So that's out. So this should come right out of there. There we go. Looks like, is that boogered up threads in there? Can't tell. I'll have to clean that up. And will that just come out? Maybe. Maybe not. How easy would that be if that just came right out? Let's try and, if I had to press, I could press that out. See, I've never taken one of these apart before, but I bet you that whole thing just comes right out that way. I don't think there's anything going to be stopping it. So let me get something to persuade that out of there. All right, so I'm just going to use a brass drift and hammer here and try to persuade that out. Don't think this is really the best position for me to do this. I might have to take it to a different bench, but let's just see if it'll come out with a few gentle taps here. Yeah, it's moving. It's still moving. I just don't want it to go flying across the workbench and hitting something important. There we go. That's it. Kind of grimy. It'll clean up. And then this thing still needs to come out. Don't think it's going to come all the way out the bottom. You know, when this was turning it, that's weird. She's all seized up now. Yeah, it's turning. I would have thought it would have just came out this way. But I bet that's going to hit here before it does. I bet I got to take that off and drive that all the way up, because that's going to hit here. So I got to figure out how to get that piece off. And it only had the one set screw, so it should just come right off. Did that move it? Probably not. Need a bigger whack. I think it moved. It's definitely just pulling the shaft down. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that out yet. Bring that back up. I'm going to mark that so I can see if it's actually moving. If I can find something to mark it with. Piece of tape should work. We'll just stick that right there, because I just want to see if it's moving. Because if it's not even moving, I don't want to waste all day pushing it down and pushing it up. Oh, it moved. Look at that. Now it's crooked. Now it's going to be locked on there for good. There we go. Piece of cake. So, yeah, that one definitely has a very specific function. Again, let me know if you know. So I'll probably make a few different types of these. Just turn a few pieces of steel down on the lathe. I'll probably make some brass ones for some soft things so I don't mar anything. I'll make a few steel ones. Yeah, it's a good idea. And then that should just fit right through there. We just try to drive that all the way down. Sorry, it's going to be right in the way of the camera, maybe. Oh, yeah, I apologize for wearing headphones. And ideally a shorter drift would be better. But, yeah, right now I don't really have. I guess I could cut it down, but. Man, it ain't wanting to go without some help. Yeah, she's going to fight it all the way out. All right, well, let me put this over the edge of the bench. You're not going to really be able to see it, and as long as it don't land on my toe. Right, I think it's getting loose. Well, looser. Let's try it back this way again. There it is. All right, that's all the pieces. All the pieces. All I got to do now is probably give it a good bead blast. And you know, there is this little oiler up here. Good little oiler here. I think those are just pressed in. I'm going to do my best to remove it without tearing it up, which I've tried taking stuff like that out before with not much luck. And this one has probably been in there for 100 years. So I don't know if I want to get that out of there without breaking it. So what I might do is just leave it. There's probably not a real reason to have to pull that out. It's all caked up. I'll have to clean it out. But yeah, so I've got one of those little portable bead blaster things that you can get at like Harbor Freight that actually works pretty well. But that is an outdoor tool because that sand goes everywhere because it's not one of those enclosed things. It's one of those things where, you know, you lose it as you use it. So I'll take this out and bead blast it, and clean and polish all these parts up, de-gunk it, de-rust it, and give it a nice paint job. I already know what color paint I'm going to use. It's the same color paint that I painted my lathe. And that lathe was a huge rebuild project too. I wish I would have started my YouTube channel back when I got that lathe, but yeah, that was many, many years ago, before I even thought about YouTube. That would have been a good project to put a video on. But I painted it John Deere green, and I've got some left over, so I'll paint this John Deere green to match the lathe. So anyways, I'll get back with you, and all these parts are all cleaned up and ready to paint and put back together. All right, so let's get this back together. As you can see, I just got it painted, and it's been sitting for a couple of days, and it was dry yesterday. I just didn't get on it then. I kind of feel bad calling this a restoration or using the word restoration. because I've seen other videos of guys who like truly did restorations, and they really go above and beyond what I did here. I basically just cleaned it up and put a fresh coat of paint on it. I'm going to put it back together again. If I were doing a full-blown restoration, I would I would replace that with new. I'm not going to. It's fine for me. I'll leave it. And also, the teeth here are really kind of worn. I mean, it still works. It'll still probably last another 100 years. But you can definitely see where they've been worn a little bit. And again, if I was doing a full-blown restoration, I would try to replace that piece. I don't really have the equipment to make that. I wish I did, but I don't. So I would try to find a new one of these, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I'm rebuilding this just for me to keep and for me to use. If I was restoring this for a customer, then yeah, I would do a lot more to it. But I just want it usable for me. And I want to be able to pick it up without getting my hands all grimy. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So we'll go and just start putting this together now. I sprayed WD-40 in all the holes. I coated all of these with WD-40. I wiped the bed down here WD-40 just to keep it from rusting over. I'll put a little grease in here as I'm putting it together, but basically this just goes up in here. Like so. It does fit. Why is it fighting me now? But there it goes. And then this just goes down like so. And is a little bit tight in one spot, but once it gets all the way in, it fits much better. There. So, and I can actually turn that by hand without the bar. I cleaned up inside the oiler thing, and so what I'll do, and actually as far as grease goes, I can run that all the way up, put some grease in here, run it back down, and that'll grease it. For what this is, it's not turning at high speeds, it's not, I think the grease is just there to help it move a little smoothly and keep it from rusting. So it's already got WD-40 all over it. So I can definitely put some grease in there as I'm using it. Plus it's got the oiler hole, and that should be all this thing really needs. And just tighten that screw back down here. Now I did learn a couple things from this. For one, I learned that the handle that was in it is not the right handle. Because this handle, they just had it in here like so with a screw in here, and then that was it. The problem with that is if we run this all the way up to here, that's its maximum upness, and if I put the handle in and I want to bring it all the way down, I run out of room already, but we'll just keep an eye on, here's where the hole is here, bring it all the way down. Well, just that handle, it would hit the bench right there. To bring that all the way down, that's got to go around like 2.5 times. It does go more. There it goes. Like 2.5 times. So the correct handle is supposed to be able to slide back and forth. So this is something I assume somebody just made and to put in there. So what I'm going to have to do is go to Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere like that and buy a piece of 1/2-inch diameter steel rod, put some nubbies on the end so it doesn't fall out, and then that'll be that. Also, I ordered the little round plate that goes down here. It's a round plate, has little different size slots in there. I ordered that on eBay yesterday. I got the cheapest one eBay had to offer. It was like $6. Most of them on eBay go for they want $50, which is just, or $45, which is just crazy because you could buy this entire thing for $50. Well, not this one. Not a green nerd. The green nerds on eBay, the cheapest one I saw was $85. After that, they're $100 or more. The $50 ones are more of the Harbor Freight flavor variety of Arbor presses. so probably lighter weight, lighter duty. I'm sure they still work fine for most uses, but why would you pay $50 for just that metal plate that goes here when you can buy an entire cheap one for $50? Crazy. So I bought the cheapest one eBay had to offer. It was $6. That should be here any day now, so I guess we'll just wait. Yeah, I'll let you know when it gets here. So for now, I think this is really all I can do with it, because like I said, I got to go buy a new bar, put some nubbies on it, and pack a little bit of grease in here. But for now, coming along all right. So yeah, I'll get back with you here in a bit when it's done. Okay, so it has been a day or two since I did something with this last. So I just got in the mail today this, because remember this had a weird block on it that was useless for me. And, I went with the cheapest one eBay had. I think I told you this already. But anyways, it's $6. $6. So this should go right in here, just like that. I was a little concerned that that pen would be a different size from that hole, but goes in here. Can I move it back one? Nope, can't move it back one. So right in there, and so that's I just got my finger in there. That's probably shouldn't be spinning that like that, but so there's that part done. I'll just take it out so it doesn't just fall out. So the only thing left to do is to make the arm for this. So I just got back from Lowe's, and I bought a piece of 1/2 inch, which should fit that hole nicely. Yep, just the right fit for that hole. I just got to decide what length I want and cut it to length. And I'll probably, and then I have to put some ends on it. And let's see, the old handle, where did I put the original handle? How would you know where I put the handle? Oh, it's right here. So the old handle was, yeah, I'll just make it the same length as that. That should give me plenty of leverage. Again, it'll hit the table, but that's why it can move. So I'll give myself a little bit here for whatever I put on the end, and I'll just kind of mark that. I'll just use a piece of my expensive masking tape here just to mark off the length I want. And let's see, move that out of the way. So be about that long. I haven't tried this yet, but right here. Well, I guess I still don't have enough subscribers yet to try that. So I'll take this over to the saw and I'll cut it off. I'll get back with you here in a second. All right, so for the handle, again, I need those ends on it so it doesn't fall out. And I'm doing it in probably about the stupidest but easiest way I could think of to do it. I had a piece of bushing material that was almost 1/2 inch, but not quite. And this bar, as we said, this bar measures almost 1/2 inch, just a little bit under 1/2 inch. And I drilled out that bushing to a little bit less than that. So there's a nice interference fit. And then I just hammer it on with brute force. I took that into the grinder just to help so I can get that started just a little bit. So all I got to do now is just put this in the hole, and I'll set that up on a steel block, and then I can just hammer that down to get that end on there for good. And again, this was not very accurate, or I'm sure the thickness of that is not even all the way around, but you know what, it'll keep that thing from falling off, and that's all I need. So let me get that hammered on, and I'll get right back to you. All right, so this is done. I finally have a usable a usable press. Now I still need to put a little bit of grease on there, you know, just because. I thought I had some thick, like, wheel bearing grease, and I can't find that anywhere, so this is all I could find. It's just general purpose. Should work fine for what this is. So we'll just put a little bit, in there, and if it's going to even come out, there it goes. Just put a little bit in there, and we'll run it around. And I can already tell it's working better. Not really. But, you know, just to say we greased it, we'll grease it. And I just realized you guys can't see a thing about what I'm doing. Too much stuff in the way here. Again, not really the exact grease I wanted to use, but again, it'll work fine. It does get a little bit tight right up here. It's like those last couple of threads are just boogered up a little bit. But that's all the way down to the bottom of the throw. With that plate on there, probably won't even go that far anyways. And it goes all the way up perfectly fine. So yeah, I think I'm happy with that. We will call that done. Still got to put a little bit of oil. Put a little bit of oil in the oiler. And clean my hands. But I suppose you guys want to see it in action. Otherwise, how are you going to believe it actually works? And I kind of put a light coating of WD-40 in the handle here. Obviously, I'm not going to paint that because it would just get scraped off over time. And again, put this guy right in there. And I guess I'll see if I can find something cool to press, just so I can prove to you that it works. So, be right back. Clean up some of that extra grease here. Put my oil away, and I do have just a little bit of oil. I said I really don't know that this is needed, but we'll do it to say we did it. Fill up the oiler, and let me go find something cool to crush. Okay, first up we have the evil vampire bunny who could attack at any time. So we got to take care of that. We didn't quite get his head. There we go. He can't attack anybody anymore. I've been watching too much of the hydraulic press channel. That's a good channel, guys. I have to check that out. Alright, and just to make sure, because you know, that was pretty easy. Just to make sure that I can really crush stuff, let's try the grape. Alright. I don't know, that's pretty tough. I don't know if you can do that. There I went. Okay, I think we're good. It works. This is about as much as I'll ever use it for. I'm joking. Anyways, sorry, that was all kind of stupid. But I couldn't, you know, rebuild that and not test it. Again, this is one of those things that I don't have a need for these that often, but when I do, it's you know, they're really handy when you need it, even if you only use it every once in a while. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at this. This video has been like way too long for what it is. I appreciate all of you who hung in there till the end, but yeah, I got to get back to my model building stuff. So until next time, thanks for watching.